We've got new weekly objectives in NHL 24, this week featuring the winners of the community request vote that did happen on EA's forums. And in this video, we're going to go over how to obtain a free 95 overall item from this release, as well as the best ways to do it. Let's hop into it. Taking a look at the 10 new community request winners from this week's vote, we've got the 95 Adam Fantilli with the always electric ghost card. He's got sniper, two-way, and power forward, as well as defensive checking, playmaking, and shooting boost. No skating synergies. He is 97 speed across the board with gold unstoppable force, beauty backhand, puck on a string, elite edges, and make it snappy. All in all, a pretty decent card. You can get his face-off rating boosted up a little bit higher to use him at center. It's not like he's small by any stretch of the imagination. The only issue is that, man, this card art just stinks, but it's still Adam Fantilli. Next, we've got Megan Keller, the 95 overall, at 5'11", 165. Again, no skating synergies for the left-handed defenseman. She's got gold edges, no contest, seeing eye, send it, and shutdown. At 99 speed across the board and silver shutdown, like, you could do worse, but probably going to be more of a theme team situation here if you're looking to grab Megan Keller. Next, we've got Alex DeBrincat from the Detroit Red Wings. 99 skating across the board, 99 shooting, and hand stats. His body checking, obviously a little bit to be desired, but he's got gold, make it snappy, 1T, shrug it off, wheels, and ankle breaker. So a really fun card. Obviously, we talk about this a lot, that if you are in Division 1 and 2, utilizing the smaller players is always going to be a little bit more difficult from a competitive standpoint, but at this point in the game, you shouldn't care about that at all, and this is a pretty strong Alex DeBrincat card. Chris Letang's up next, the right-handed defenseman. Again, does not have a skating synergy boost at 96 speed, excel, agility, and balance, as well as essentially maxed out D-stats. He does have gold seeing eye, which is a pretty fun ability this year. Tape to tape, quick pick, shutdown, and edges. Again, shutdown and quick pick are pretty strong defensive abilities in NHL 24. There are a lot of top-end right-handed defensemen that if you're still grinding the game, you probably have better options, but still a pretty decent one. Chris Didomenico always gets many cards throughout the year. 5'11", 183 with 96 skating across the board, 97 hand stats, gold, make it snappy, shock and awe, 1T, tape to tape, and puck on a string. Again, this would be more of a theme team recommendation. Jonas Brodin. There are quite a few decent left-handed defensemen specifically in this release. Jonas Brodin is one of them. 96 skating across the board. Gold shutdown with ice pack, send it, thunderclap, and quick pick. Again, at 6'2" with gold shutdown and decent skating at 96 overall. If you do have a hole on the left-hand side, Jonas Brodin is a pretty good option. Willie O'Ree's up next, 5'10", 175. Does have gold, unstoppable force with no contest, close quarters, edges, and tape to tape. 97 skating across the board, very similar to all the other forward releases so far. Alexander Burrows is up next at 6'1", 197 with sniper, power, and two-way forward. Again, the same secondary synergy slot. Gold off the rush, which did get a boost, but still not very effective. There are better abilities you can go out and get. Does have truculence, which is one of the best, as well as tape to tape. Crease crasher also got a buff, and then unstoppable force, 96 skating across the board. All the cards builds are very similar. However, he does have 99 body check. Nicklas Hjalmarsson is up next at 6'3", 197 at 95 overall with offensive defenseman as well as enforcer defenseman, meaning he can get up to 97 overall. In terms of his speed, 96 excel and agility with gold shutdown. At 6'3", this is a very good option. If you are looking for the best competitive version of these cards, he is probably it. So a very strong left-handed defenseman here in Nicklas Hjalmarsson. And then lastly, the 95 Brooks Orpik. Much like Hjalmarsson, very good left-handed defenseman for you to grab, and he does have enforcer defenseman, meaning he gets up to 97 speed, as well as accelerator boost, getting up to 97 excel with gold truculent, quick pick, no contest, bouncer, and shutdown. Again, Orpik and Hjalmarsson are probably the best of the bunch from this release, and if you can get both of those skating synergies activated, you've got a very good card here in Brooks Orpik, who we haven't really seen since the first event of the year when he had that random MSP. So a very strong option here in Brooks Orpik. Now, unfortunately, they still have not given us a set for us to use to make these. However, we are able to get a free one via the objective path. So if you head on over to weekly objectives, you'll see that the weekly icons objective path is now here that will have us completing various objectives with base icon player items, which is hilarious because we just spent probably the most fun we've had since launch in terms of content and ways to play the game using just base icon. And for whatever reason, they want us to keep using base icons. and I guess that works out well for everyone that did compete in this event and didn't just immediately sell your cards once you were done Icon Champs. Now, looking over the list, it's actually pretty doable, especially if you have a base Icon team still from that Icon Champs run. So if you were able to complete all 6 of these objectives using base icons, you will get a random community request player item. This was confirmed that it is one of the 95 overall items that were just released. All of the prior ones are not in the pack pool. So I, for one, was actually pretty happy to get to bring back the Icon squad. And all you've got to do is just go into squad battles, pick the easiest matchup available to you in 4-minute periods on rookie mode, and then get to work. Honestly, you can just play the game. You just got to focus on scoring goals because you need goals, assists. You also need checks as well as shots and dekes, but the one that's going to take you the longest, more than likely, is just going to be the goals. I played this game normally, scored all of the goals. That was kind of my focus. Every time that they got the puck, I would just go for a hit, and because my entire lineup was base icons, this took me 3 full squad battle games, which translated to about an hour and a half of gameplay to get all of the objectives done. Now, the last one is the dekes, and some people have actually come to me and said that they struggle with this one. You've just got to be somewhere close to an opposing player, and on rookie, it's very easy because you can just skate away from them. You can sit behind the net, but it looks like in recent patches, they actually make you move forward whenever you do the back and forth toe drag dekes. So what I do is I just toe drag around the zone all the way around, and it counts. I literally did it in 1 4-minute period, and it was the easiest one of the bunch. So now that was complete, it was time to open up my 95 overall community player reward. Again, looking for Hjalmarsson or Brooks Orpik. Couldn't care less. All right, so obviously not someone I'm super thrilled with in terms of the card. However, anytime that you can get a 95 overall player item for an hour and a half of gameplay, it's still, unfortunately, by far the most rewarding way to use your time when it comes to just getting any sort of asset to your team. This went right into Power Up Collectibles to help me finish off Gordie Howe and getting him up to his 98, which he becomes an absolute force at, so not upset. Now, while completing this morning, it had me thinking. Again, I think that anytime that you want to criticize something that they do, you've got to come up with what you would do instead, because it's the only way that you're going to give constructive criticism. I think NHL 25 and beyond really needs to figure out a way to reward using the cards needed for objectives online. So what I mean by that is a lot of the players that don't like playing offline, like squad battles and live moments and all of that, we're just kind of screwed, which is wild because most of the time in Ultimate Team Mode games, it's the offline players that don't really get any love. Consider this. If I hated squad battle like I do, and playing against the CPU was insanely boring, which it is. Again, not the same experience for everyone, the players out there that enjoy playing offline squad battles at their own time and pace. If I were to take the base icon team and go into rivals and play online in Division 2 and face Division 2 and 1 players, I'm just gonna get smoked. On top of that, every goal on rookie squad battles is worth the exact same as a Division 1 rivals goal. There needs to be a multiplier in place so that if you are going to use this and play the game the way you want it to be played to complete these objectives, then for every goal you score online, it's got to be worth like 4, or maybe it goes higher with each division. I think it's the only way to fix this issue of just having to use squad battles as this dumping ground where for an hour and a half I just sat there, which is this mind-numbingly boring chore to complete, which is still by far the best value, because getting a 95 overall for an hour and a half is nuts when you consider you could play 50 rivals games and not pull a purple. So, food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.